The day Liam married Clara, the world seemed to rejoice with him. Sunlight streamed through the stained glass windows, and the air buzzed with the happy chatter of friends and family. But as Liam watched Clara walk down the aisle, a shadow of doubt clouded his heart. She wasn't the woman he had always dreamed of. He had envisioned marrying someone like Serena, vibrant, outgoing, the life of every party. Clara, by contrast, was quiet, reserved, almost shy. She preferred a book to a ballroom, a quiet evening to a crowded gathering. Their marriage had been an arrangement, a merger of two powerful families to strengthen their business empires. Liam had agreed, seeing it as his duty, a logical step. Love, he told himself, was a luxury he couldn't afford. He would be a good husband, a provider, but his heart would remain his own. In the first few months, their home felt less like a haven and more like a hotel. They moved around each other like polite strangers, their conversations stilted and formal. Liam would come home late from the office, often finding Clara in the library, lost in a book. "Good evening," he'd say. "Good evening," she'd reply, her eyes briefly lifting from the page before returning. The silence that followed was heavy, filled with unspoken words and unmet expectations. Liam spent his weekends with his friends, often with Serena among them. He laughed at her jokes, basked in her vivacious energy, and felt a pang of what could have been. His friends would ask, "How's married life? Liam, how's Clara?" He'd just shrug and say, "It's fine. She's fine." Quiet. In his mind, he was comparing Clara to Serena, and Clara always came up short. He saw Clara's quietness as disinterest, her preference for solitude as a rejection of him. He felt trapped in a loveless, boring marriage. One evening, he came home earlier than usual, exhausted from a grueling week. The house was silent. He expected to find Clara in the library, but it was empty. A faint sound of music drew him towards the back of the house, to a small, forgotten sunroom he rarely entered. He pushed the door open and stopped, mesmerized. Clara was there, but she wasn't the timid, reserved woman he thought he knew. She was dancing. Her eyes were closed, a soft smile on her lips, as she moved gracefully to the gentle melody of a classical piece. She was fluid, expressive, her movements telling a story of passion and grace he never knew she possessed. In that moment she was breathtaking. He had never seen her look so free, so alive. He quietly backed away, not wanting to disturb her, his mind reeling. Who was this woman? His curiosity piqued. Liam started paying closer attention. He noticed small things he'd overlooked. The way she arranged fresh flowers in a vase every morning, brightening the entire house. The way she spoke to the household staff, not as an employer, but with genuine kindness and respect, always remembering their children's names and asking about their families. He overheard her on the phone one day, patiently talking an elderly neighbor through a computer problem. A few weeks later, Liam was facing a major crisis at work. A crucial deal was falling apart, and the pressure was immense. He came home one night, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders, and slumped onto the sofa, burying his face in his hands. He didn't even notice Clara entering the room until she sat down beside him. Not too close, just offering her presence. She didn't ask what was wrong. "Se justa side, I made some tea." She placed a steaming cup on the table in front of him. Then she did something unexpected. She started talking, not about his work, but about a book she was reading. It was a history of ancient architecture, and she spoke about it with such passion and knowledge, her voice calm and steady. She explained how ancient builders faced incredible challenges, how they had to innovate and persevere against impossible odds. Asalisanet, a strange thing happened. The tension in his shoulders began to ease. Her voice was a soothing balm, her story a distraction that put his own problems into perspective. He found himself asking questions, drawn into her world. For the first time, they weren't just exchanging pleasantries. They were having a real conversation. When she finished, she looked at him, her gaze clear and direct. "Whatever it is, Liam," she said softly, "you're strong enough to handle it. You just need to find the right support structure." That night, Liam saw his wife not as the quiet, boring woman he had misjudged, but as a person of incredible depth, intelligence, and quiet strength. He realized her silence wasn't disinterest. It was thoughtfulness. Her reserve wasn't shyness. It was a calm confidence that didn't need constant validation. The next day, inspired by their conversation, Liam approached his work problem from a new angle. He thought about her words, support structure, and restructured his team, delegating tasks and trusting his colleagues. The strategy worked. The deal was saved. That evening, he came home with a bouquet of peonies, her favorite flower. He found her in the library, as usual. "Clara," he said, holding out the flowers. She looked up, surprised. "They're beautiful, Liam." "Thank you. Is everything okay at work?" "It's better," he said, pulling up a chair. "Much better, thanks to you." He told her how her story had helped him, how her perspective had changed everything. He talked for a long time, opening up in a way he never had before, and she listened, truly listened, her quiet attention making him feel seen and understood. From that day on, everything changed. Liam started coming home earlier. He would seek Clara out, not out of duty, but out of a genuine desire to be with her. They talked for hours about her books and his business, about their dreams and their fears. He discovered she had a wicked sense of humor and a sharp, analytical mind that often helped him with his business strategies. He learned that her quiet nature held a world of passion and wisdom. He took her to the sunroom one evening and asked her to dance with him. As they moved together to the music, he confessed how he had misjudged her, how he had been blind to the incredible woman she was. Clara simply smiled, her eyes shining. "I knew you were a good man, Liam," she said. "I was just waiting for you to see me." Liam realized he hadn't married the wrong woman. He had married exactly the right woman. He had been the one who was wrong, blinded by his own shallow expectations. Serena's vibrancy was like a firework, dazzling but fleeting. Clara's love was like the sun, a quiet, steady warmth that nourished everything it touched. Their arranged marriage, once a cold business transaction, had blossomed into a deep and profound love story. Liam learned that true connection isn't always found in loud declarations or grand gestures. Sometimes it's discovered in the quiet moments, in the steady presence of a kind heart, in the shared silence between two people who truly see each other. He had looked for a party girl, but found a partner. He had thought he wanted a spectacle, but he discovered the profound beauty of a noble heart. And in finding the real Clara, Liam finally found his way home. Thank you for watching Noble Hearts Stories. We hope this story touched you as much as it did us. Remember that love often reveals itself in the most unexpected ways, if we only have the patience and wisdom to look beyond the surface. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more tales that celebrate the power of the human heart. We'll see you next time.